Welcome to Level 4 Factors in GCS Part 2 of your Simplifying Rationals homework. This is our last video. If we notice here, our numerator and our denominator are both quadratic expressions that do not have any GCS for us to simplify. We're going to have to factor them both outright. So just as before, we're going to kind of set this problem up in different parts, our numerator being part A and our denominator being part B. And then we're going to factor those separately and then put it back together as a final solution and then look at it overall in order to reduce that way. So part A, 9x squared minus 4. If you notice the pattern here, 9x squared minus 4 is a difference of perfect squares. 9x squared and 4 are perfect squared numbers, and x squared is a perfect squared variable. The pattern here, you would take the square root of the first term, and that is what starts both of those factors. So the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of x squared is x. So both factors start with that. And then you square root the 4, and your factors end in 2. You will always have one factor with a plus and one factor with a minus. And that's because the middle term cancels out. It doesn't matter the order if you do the minus first and the plus second. If you are not used to seeing this pattern and you feel like you wouldn't be able to duplicate this process, that is perfectly okay. We have seen it before where we have done 9x squared plus 0x as our b term minus 4, and you could still do the x method, just using 0 for b in the bottom and grouping and then simplifying that way. You'll still get the same thing. So 3x plus 2 and 3x minus 2 is our numerator. Our denominator, three x squared plus 14x plus 8. We don't have any GCS to pull out, so I'm going to go ahead and start my x for the x method. 3 times a, AC goes in the top, which is 24, and our b term, 14. Two numbers that multiply to give me 24 and add to give me 14 are 2 and 12. Then we can go ahead and set up our grouping, breaking down this 14x here into 3x squared plus 2x, leaving some space, plus 12x plus 8. Now we're going to go in and GCF both of those. The only thing I have in common in our first group is an x, and that's going to leave me with, not just x, but 3x plus 2. And in our second group, the only thing we have in common here is a 4, and that would leave me with 3x plus 2. So we know those are correct because our GCFs were different, obviously, and what we were left with was the same. So we can write this back out. The GCFs go in their own parentheses. That 4 was positive, so it will be a plus. And then the term that was the same, our factor that was the same, the 3x plus 2 goes in the other set of parentheses. And we are done with our denominator. Now we can go ahead, and we like when things start looking the same. I'm going to change the order up just a little bit. That's okay. You can always switch them because they are multiplying. That's a commutative property there. And we should automatically start seeing this 3x plus 2 in our numerator and in our denominator are the same factors. So these can cancel out. If I look at what I'm left with, 3x minus 2 and x plus 4, those do not have anything else in common. I cannot reduce those in any way. So our final solution would be 3x minus 2 over x plus 4. And we are done.